Hi. So today's card is Earth School. Now, usually when this card turns up from this Starseed Oracle pack, it's reminding me that I am a spiritual being having a human experience, a physical experience, and that everything I am doing is a lesson. And so to look at even the worst case scenarios as a lesson, what do I need to learn from what is happening? So let's see if they've got anything else to add to what they're going to say. Yes, Earth School. Now, many of you will either know this or not know this, that before you are born, before you incarnate on this planet, you decide what you are going to learn as part of your life. You have a list of things that you have to achieve as a living incarnated being, as a emanation of the divine in a physical form, a information collector for the divine, because that is what all the beings on this planet are. They are collecting information for the divine so the divine can experience the physical world in 101 different ways all at once. And the more that can experience life on this planet in those millions of different ways, the more information that the divine can collect and know about how the physical world works. And it has been doing this for a very long time. And Earth School is now about to change. Earth School is now going to stop being just the mundane, everyday, this is what life is all about, and is now going to shift up into a more spiritual level of understanding. Many people will not be happy about this because they are quite happy just being asleep, should we call it, not knowing what the true purpose of their life is, not knowing what is going on with the world around them. And many people will start to rebel over this. They will start to become upset, agitated, and frightened because they will start to have revelations of what is really going on. They will be shown what is really going on. And this in itself, because of the human personality, will be a shock to the system. So, a very quick understanding of what is going on is that before you incarnate, your higher self, the part of the Akashic records that holds every single piece of information that has ever happened with the divine energy, be it physically, energetically, spiritually, and beyond, is held in this one field, this information database, this computer of the divine, shall we call it. And what happens is that the higher self is a living part of that, is a living part of the divine that is connected to the Akashic records. And it is required, as all higher selves are, to experience this world a certain way. So, in order for it to do that, it splits itself into souls, and each soul is given a task. This is what you will find out when you incarnate, this is what you will find out when you incarnate, and so on and so forth. And then those souls will have a chat, shall we call it, to find out what is the best sort of life I can live to get all this information, to learn all these lessons that I've been asked to learn. And what happens then is that the beings who do that, they find out, ah, okay, um, do you want to split even more? Or do you want to just stay as one soul but have a lot of life experiences? And again, because the soul sometimes has never been incarnated, it either rushes in and goes, yes, please, I'll try everything. And that's when you see the personality crash. The person who is overwhelmed, the person becomes a drug addict or an alcoholic or whatever as part of their life path, and then they come out of it or they never do. Or you see the person who decides, no, I will listen to the other souls who have been through this before, and I will split myself even more, and so that we can do the same thing but in different places. So then what happens is they choose a personality, which is the face that you show to the world. So that personality also helps the soul to experience things. So the soul may, for example, have the lesson of patience. So what is the best way to learn patience is to be a personality that is impatient, so that they then learn the flip side, which is patience, or anger. So they're constantly angry, and that they have to learn how to calm themselves and come out of that anger and come into peace. So all these little lessons, when you meet people and you see the way they are acting, ask yourself, what is the lesson they've come to learn? What is the big thing that is going on in their life that is causing them issues? And now, in some cases, people may be doing something that they've learnt a couple of lives at times ago, but they still hold on to the thing of, oh, I'm worried about money, I'm worried about being attacked, I'm worried about this. It's because they didn't finish the process when they were incarnated the last time round. They didn't fully say, thank you for the lesson, I'm now moving on. And so they've carried that into this lifetime as if they feel they still have something to finish, something to prove. And in reality, they don't. So there will come a point where they will be nudged by their team almost to say, it's time to let this go. It's time to break the contract. It's time to say, I no longer want this lesson. Thank you very much for it. I've got the information, I've assimilated the information, and it's time to move on. So then what happens is that, as always, this is something the soul learns then. The soul learns that it is holding information that it hasn't fully completed or has completed and needs to sort of may want to just experience for a little while in the current life, to see the difference between what was poverty like in the 10th century to the current century I'm in, and allows the personality to experience that. But unfortunately, uh, the personality may get caught up in this is my lot rather than I'm just experiencing it. Thank you for the lesson. We've done the comparison. Goodbye. So a lot of the time, part of the Earth School lessons is learning to say, thank you for the lesson, goodbye. Thank you for the lesson, let's move on. What's next on my list? I've ticked that box, I've got other things to do now. And your guides will also help you to do that. They will help you by putting you through certain situations, bringing certain situations into your life as well as your soul will, so that you will think of, right, I've learned this lesson, let's move on, or I really want to carry on the path that I am continuing on. Because what you will notice as well as this planet changes and Earth School, shall we say, not graduate, but changes the lesson plan, you will notice that the vibration of different beings will start to change as well. So whereas before you would be expected to be in a poverty place, so you would have no money and you would have to struggle, and this taught you a certain lesson. What now happens is that you could be in a place where spiritually, because your energy is up and down, that is why your monetary uh, balance or your energy balance is interacting. And so you're going up and down with the money that you're being paid because you are in a job, you are carrying out certain tasks that you don't like anymore. And that will affect your money to the point where you will either willingly be happy to leave and go somewhere else, or you will lose that placement, because what will happen is that on a soul level your soul is going, this person will never let this go. What can we do to make them let it go? And then the extremes come in because you weren't listening. You weren't looking at the world around you and going, do you know what? I think I'd better leave now, or I think I'd better find another job, or I need to look at another way of being. So Earth School is going to become more and more of that sort of thing, more and more of you being a person who will be shown that you need to leave something, you need to let go of something. And this is where a lot of people mention the tower moment. And the tower moment is merely a way of saying that you have been told to do something, you've been shown that you need to do something, and you're still ignoring it. So finally, your soul and your spirit team make your life crash so that you will do what you need to do and will move into what you need to move into. So this is why we will say that it is better to notice the signs and go, I'm being told to leave this job, instead of worrying about, I should be staying here, I should be doing this, I should be a normal person. Instead, look at, in reality, where should I be going? And how can I change from this to this with the least amount of problems before my team and my soul kick in and force me to make really big decisions. But also, if you are only just awakening, it could be to make you awaken even more, to make you become even more aware of how the world works, and putting you through a case of just totally destroying your life so that you can move into something better. And that is why we also ask people to again look at the lesson. What am I learning here? Instead of looking at, I'm always unlucky, this always happens to me, take a breath, step back, and look at what the lesson is. Why is this happening? What is it that I can do to change the situation? What is it I can do to change my energy around this situation? And also, what lesson am I being asked to learn? Am I being asked to learn resilience? Am I being asked to learn that the world is not against me? It is my own thoughts and my own emotions that cause what is happening around me. I am manifesting what is going on around me. All these are good questions, but all individuals have to figure out what the answer to the situation is. And so we will finish with saying that Earth School is changing. You have incarnated at this time to help the planet change and ascend into the fifth dimension, but also you are here to help others who are not waking up as fast as they should, to wake up because you've been there before. You have incarnated at this time to help these people and help them to wake up and help them to be something more than what they are. And so we ask you to be patient with yourself, but also patient with others, because if a person is ready to hear the information, then the information will flood in and they will learn and they will accept and they will do. But you can have information that's over 10 years old only suddenly being knowledgeable to a person because energetically and spiritually and also their mindset is ready to accept that information. And so you may have known it for over 10 years, but this person is now only energetically in the right place to accept what they are reading. So don't berate people, don't belittle them. Just say, I knew this 10 years ago. What have you done to change your energy so that you can now hear this information? What wondrous thing have you experienced? And listen to their story, because many people will have different stories of how they have changed so they can hear what they need to hear and do what they need to do. Everybody's on a different timeline, but everybody has the same exit. That is to return back to the divine in all their glory at some point. But it's how you get there and how much time you spend trying to get there is where everybody differs. So we will leave it there. So, again, Earth School. We're all here to learn, we're all here to experience, we're all here to be something different to what we were before. so we can tick those boxes and complete our list, as well as help the planet to ascend and the people upon it to ascend into the fifth dimension as well. So we'll leave you there.